Hello, hello, hello. You guys, welcome. All right. Welcome back. If you are returning, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for checking it out, okay? And giving me the view. All right, now, just in case you don't know who I am, allow me to introduce myself. I am Indigo Sage, and you can find me across social media with the hashtags indigosagetarot, indigosage reviews, which is my second channel where it's just reviews. This channel here, it involves tarot and a summary. And you can also find me under hashtag unapologetically sage. Okay, buckle up, here we go. Okay, now tarot is spilling the tea, all right, on insufferable Annemarie, which we found out that it is Annemarie, all right. Um, she's delivering unapologetic apologies, all right, and this is a part of my collection for new cast members entitled "Why Is She Here?" All right. And it's she because I don't believe I've done one on a guy. Anyway, this is when Spirit gives me 5 cards that breaks down their decision to join the show. These cards include what they imagine as the best of the situation and the worst of the situation. Any of these card positions can reveal a surprising truth or an obvious one. I always include a bonus card in the very end, which is their energy influence. But first, I am going to give a little background for those of you who do not know this lately. But, we are here for the tarot ultimately. And I do have a clip for you all with this summary, all right? Because I do love it when I can give it to you guys in their own words. I actually did the cards right after my last video, but I'm barely getting around to recording it now, all right? Okay, so this is Annemarie Wiley, and she is a mother and a wife. She has an 8-year-old son along with 2 daughters, ages 4 and 3. She married Marcellus Wiley, an ex-football player. Annemarie Wiley is a certified registered nurse anesthetist. Anesthetist. It's like anesthesiologist. Anyway, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna go there with y'all. Um, she worships fitness like it's a religion. Her IG account is filled with images of her working out on the show. We do see that she has a pickleball court and mentions running every day. Yet and still, she tells us that her husband rates her as an 8.5 out of 10 in everything: looks, brains, motherhood, and wife. In this confessional, she is very proud to boast about that slight from her husband because she is not taking it as a diss, okay? And diss is short for disrespect. She sees it as a compliment. I don't view it that way, but who am I to judge? Okay, who am I to judge? Let's go. Annemarie came to the show, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, as a new housewife right off bat, when she really should have been a friend. And she should have been a friend to or a friend of in this season because that is the energy she was bringing. She was truly Kyle's lapdog, snapping at the heels of whoever Kyle instructed her to. And to make matters awkward, Annemarie wasn't seen until episode 7, and her package wasn't delivered until episode 8. We, the viewers, were left bewildered. Okay? Until now, because I found an interview that she did about a month ago that explains this anomaly. All right, so let's take a look.
Well, you are new to the franchise, obviously. This is your first season as a housewife.
Yeah.
So, what made you want to get on the show?
You know what? The way it happened was so crazy. Like, it was not on my radar. It wasn't something I was like seeking out at all. Kyle lives down the street from me. We're like neighbors, and we had met a couple months prior, and she reached out to me and she's like, "Hey, we just started filming season 13 of Housewives, and the producers are interested in talking to you." Like, and meanwhile, like, the ladies have already been shooting for a month and a half.
Yeah.
So it happened really, really fast. I was shooting 2 weeks later. So that's why, I kind of come into the season like midway through.
Okay, I'm glad you cleared that up because I was confused about that.
Yes. So they had already been filming for a month and a half. They asked me to do it last minute. That's why I said it happened really fast. And then there's kind of like a break where I'm gone for 2 episodes.
Yes.
So it was spring break and I was with my family in Hawaii because I already had this vacation planned with my family. So I'm like in it for a blip and then gone for a blip and then I come back and then I'm in the rest of the season.
Okay, got it. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay, Annemarie married Marcellus Wiley in 2014. They shared 3 children along with an older daughter Marcellus fathered before marrying Annemarie. Marcellus played professional football for 10 seasons. As far as his career, apparently he's a sportscaster or ex-sportscaster. I didn't do a deep dive because that's not what this is. This marriage holds secrets much larger than why the hell does he think Anne Marie is an 8.5 and why does she see that as a compliment? They have a college scandal they dare not speak of, which is Marcellus being accused of having intimate relations with someone without their permission as a college student in 1994. This is all alleged, while the accusation is widely known. Okay? Annemarie speaks absolutely nothing regarding the alleged. Instead, you can see her admiration for him in certain IG posts as she describes him as selfless, devoted, and ever present role model, mentor, chauffeur, coach, substitute nurse, dance party partner, grill master, pool cannonball pro. Your roles are endless, she wrote, describing her husband. Basically, rainbows and unicorns regarding her marriage on IG as well as on the show. Okay. And of course, you know what? Let me tell y'all something. Anytime someone acts like their marriage is perfect or there's nothing wrong with it or doesn't speak of it, okay? I give them a good mean old side eye. All right, continuing. And now just a little more background before we get started with the tarot. Okay, a tarot. Anyway, on one of the RHOBH after shows, Annemarie explained that she went hard on the ladies due to her being dealt a devastating blow. Annemarie tells us that she was adopted because her mother gave her up when she was born, with instruction to never seek her identity. Annemarie looked anyway. Um, by researching her family tree, she found her mother's sister, reached out to her, and discovered she was blocked by this person. This revelation was heavy on her heart. Apparently, during the filming of season 13, and she decided not to talk about it, but instead she took it out on some of her castmates. Okay. Now, I personally don't believe that that is the reason she was a bitch, okay, towards Sutton's esophagus. And I believe Anne is putting this out there now as a setup for next season's storyline if she's in fact invited back. For those of you who know, you know that It always fascinates me when all of the cards, I mean, every single card is what in reverse, except for one. Woo, I love that little old combination because let me tell you something. That one card that is standing upright and straight, it is saying it's something that can't be denied. It's really, really strong, okay? Here is that situation, and what we're looking at is the past card. It did come out in reverse, all right, which basically means refusing to deal with an issue. Now, the past card is important because this card represents what is in her past that influenced the decision. Okay. And it's represented by the Two of Swords in reverse. The Two of Swords reverse suggests that you are facing a difficult decision and cannot decide which direction to take. You are caught between a rock and a hard place, and it feels impossible to make the right decision as you believe either option will lead to negative consequences. When the head and the heart are enemies, the person is paralyzed. Paralyzed, I tell you, and unable to move. This state can be self induced and exasperated. I personally think she wanted to do it as a quick and easy money grab, but worried about how to avoid addressing the accusations on her husband that were recently brought to light. Now, I called it a quick money grab for her because in a previous reading on how the ladies view Annemarie, a lot of the ladies view her, um, their views had an undertone of Annemarie doing the show for the money. What the money, honey? So much so that I had to duly note that in that reading. Okay, okay, let's continue. All right, and next up we have present. The card in the present position was also what? Reverse. And it's represented by the Four of Wands, which upright is a very beautiful card. Okay. It's, representing, reminiscent of 1111, and it's a beautiful card. However, this one is in reverse and it's all work and no play. All right. In her present position, as what directly was going on in her mind as she made the decision to join this show with this cast in the middle of it, all late and stuff. All right. Anyway, this imagery shows a person who has planned this festival for quite a while. Many people working together toward a common goal is often cause for celebration, especially when the event goes off without a hitch, as this one appears to have achieved. However, the card was in what? Reverse, which now represents all work and no play. This card in reverse tells me that Anna Marie is faking the funk to keep up appearances. The Four of Wands reverse sheds light on a lack of harmony and a breakdown in communication in the household. There may be tension rumbling between family members, and Anna Marie may be finding herself caught up in other people's concerns. What did I just say? Caught up in other people's concerns, which makes me believe she pulled this adoption story out of her ass to set up for next season's storyline to avoid talking about her what husband, okay, husband, all right, because this card is pointing out that she is caught up in other people's concerns. The adoption story is her concern. I'm not dissing her adoption story. I am just pointing out that it is a setup to avoid talking about the storyline happening for real in her household. Okay. And so that also to me has something to do with that past card being the Two of Swords and her having to make a decision and being pulled in two different directions. Okay. Let's continue. Now, looky here. Okay. Looky here. This, for some reason, was my favorite card in this reading. And this is what she imagines to be the best of her decision to join. All right, if everything goes perfectly, this is how she's viewing it. And it's represented by the Queen of Swords. Okay, she has had Queen energy before as well. In a previous reading I did on her, which is how she views the ladies and how the ladies view her. Here, the best of her decisions, she views herself as the Queen of Swords. Now, y'all know swords are words. Okay, this is an intelligent person who uses their words skillfully. Okay, swords, yes. But they can also slice and dice your ass too. Okay, because it's a sword. All right, so never forget that. So this is a person who, in general, like I said, they're very intelligent, competent, good at their job, whatever their job is, and they can slice and dice your ass real quick. Like, what did Mariah say? Like pico de gallo, slice and chop you up like some pico de gallo, real quick with just their words. Okay, now as best. Okay, look at what it says: harsh, sarcastic, and sometimes cruel. All right, and when I saw it, I did laugh a little bit um, because, okay, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me break this down. And while I'm breaking this down, take a look at the imagery. All right, it's like student teacher. That was the first thing I got. So, the reversed Queen of Swords is an example of power wielded poorly, either by yourself or someone you know. This queen is a force to be reckoned with, overly defensive, and can be vengeful. This usually results in a toxic relationship in your life that must be corrected before any progress can be made. You may be emotionally involved in a particular issue, and it could be distorting your perception of the situation at hand. Okay? Okay. So, number one, let's break this down. The reverse Queen of Swords is an example of power wielded poorly, either by yourself or someone you know. So, taking a look at the imagery, we can see that is Kyle mentoring Anne and prepping her for the show while she is pumping Anne up to be her yapping lapdog. Kyle definitely wielded her power poorly to influence Annemarie's intentions coming onto the show. Okay. And basically, to me, in that clip that I played for you guys, Anne Marie is confirming this in a way because she says that Kyle came to her in the middle of the season and practically begged her to join. Okay. And we know in that conversation how that probably went. All right. Why else would Kyle, in the middle of them taping the season, come to Anne Marie and say, hey, join this show right now? Kyle is being a producer in the background, okay? And she specifically gave her specific instructions, and I break all of that down in a previous reading, which you can click on it. I'll attach it to this video at the end. Okay. So, number two, this queen is a force to be reckoned with, overly defensive and vengeful. Um, this usually results in a toxic relationship in your life that must be corrected before any progress can be made. For example, the rift between Anna Marie and Sutton came from Anne believing it was best to attack first and ask questions last. Period. Period. That's on period. We saw it. Number three, you may be emotionally involved in a particular issue and it could be distorting your perception of the situation at hand. Okay. This statement backs up the fact that Anne came in with the singular purpose of destroying those who dare question Kyle. Harsh, sarcastic, and sometimes cruel. So basically, she wants the women to know that she is not to be played with and she's not going to be a shrinking violet nor a pushover. She is a strong contender and competitor, okay, according to her, and they should think twice before coming for her because she's going to be the great equalizer and set things straight and get the group together. Okay, she thought she was gonna be in charge of the girls and snatch edges because she just ain't the one. Now, she's gonna take these women by storm, honey. That's how she was feeling. The best in her mind is that the ladies see her as a force to be reckoned with. And it's funny because I know in her mind she didn't intentionally say, the best would be if I am harsh, sarcastic, and sometimes cruel. But what she probably said is, if it comes across that way, oh well. Because they're going to back up off of me. They're going to know not to come for me. They're going to know I'm not the one. That is how this represents what she felt was the best of the situation, okay? If they saw her as a hard ass and a very good competitor, let's keep going. All right, now the worst of it. What she imagined to be the worst of the situation is represented by another reversal, and that is the moon card. Okay, it's a major arcana, the moon. Being purposefully deceived. You better come on, cards. You better come on, cards, and tell the truth on her. Okay, now that's plain and obvious to see how one could imagine that being the worst. That's anywhere in your life. Being purposefully deceived, nobody wants that. The moon is beguiling and magical. It can reveal amazing mysteries. However, wandering around in the moonlight in an unknown environment is what dangerous, as its light conceals more than it reveals. In such a landscape, it is easy for the mind to see monsters and fears where they may not exist. Okay, that's the being purposefully deceived. All right. Anne-Marie saw those women as monsters like Freddy Krueger and Jason and Michael Myers coming to attack. Oop, funny. Michael Myers, Halloween, Kyle. Anyway, coming to attack Kyle. Okay, now when the moon is reversed, spirit is telling you to listen to your inner guide and not be guided by someone else. Okay. Again, the worst in Anne's mind is if she blindly follows Kyle's lead and is led astray by Kyle's purposeful deception. As we know, that did happen, and Anne Marie later apologized for her inappropriate behavior. I am glad she took full responsibility because although she was misguided by Kyle, Anne took it too far when she attacked Sutton's esophagus. Okay? Oh my God. Like, what in the world does she have against esophaguses? Let's continue. Now, real quick, okay, we are getting ready to explore what's to come in her mind. But before we do, I just wanted to ask you guys to please click like and subscribe already if you haven't, okay? I may be late, but what's that saying? I'm always on time. Okay, I may be late, but I'm always on time, all right? And this one, even though it is kind of late, it's an interesting take how you can see how all of this did play out. Okay. And after all, I did do this weeks ago. I just hadn't, edited it yet. All right. So click like, click subscribe, and let's go. Now, here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Okay, what's to come? What's to come? Was in the what? Upright. Okay? This card was the only card in the what? Upright. All right. So, a time of renewal and cleansing. A time of renewal and cleansing. What's to come? That's good. I believe she needs it. And I believe she needs it even more knowing now that her mother passed. Okay, the person who she connected with as a mother, the mother in her life had passed away. So now it makes even more sense about renewal and cleansing. Because when I saw this, I was like, is Anne Marie spiritual? Speaking of taking full responsibility, okay, what's to come is represented by the stars, which is like pushing the reset button. It's a welcome reprieve after a period of turmoil. You hold a new sense of self as cynicism and pessimism falls away. It allows Anne to look at the show through new eyes, expecting good things. All right. We have witnessed Anne apologize to Sutton and make peace with Crystal, and several times Anne has stated, both written and verbally, that if she could redo her actions upon entering the show, she definitely would do it differently. However, okay, however, word on the curb is that her and Crystal have been going at it on social media after the show aired. Now, if that's true, then she needs to be cleansed some more. Okay, some more. not some more, some more. The first time didn't take. It just didn't take. All right, and our last card, you guys, is the energy influence. Now, the energy influence is very important, and I always talk about it because it is the influence for all of the cards. It's the energy behind them. It's can be viewed as the root of a tree because the roots are there first. Period. And that's where the trunk of the tree comes from, the branches, the leaves, the fruit, the flowers, the everything. So if your roots are bad and rotten, then what's going to come of it will be bad and rotten. Okay? It'll be beautiful, nice and healthy if the roots are. So that's how you should view the energy influence as it relates to all the cards we just discussed. And it too was reversed. And it's represented by another queen. This is the Queen of Chalice. The Queen of Chalice is another way of saying the Queen of Cups, and it was in reverse. Now take a gander. Yes, I say gander. Take a gander at this imagery, this image, okay, as her energy. And it's clear to me to see because this lady is distraught. She's distraught. It didn't even have to be reversed. In the upright, she distraught. She looks distraught. Okay. Anyway, the basis of it is encouraging drama and feeding off emotional turmoil. And it's really crazy that she was feeding off of emotional turmoil and causing it, promoting it, and swimming all up in it, doing the backstroke and the butterfly and all kind of stuff all up in it. And then, boom, she gets hit with some. Okay. And then all of a sudden, she wants to cleanse her spirit. Yeah, I could see that. So let's break this down. This card, Queen of Chalice in reverse, means you are wrapped up in other people's emotional responses and have created a codependent relationship that is not healthy for either party. You may be giving too much of yourself away and receiving little in return. So let's talk about that real quick. It's really cold-blooded to me that if Kyle is sitting here acting like her and Annemarie are really good friends and she solicited Annemarie to come in there and protect her from these evil monster women, okay, because they're so close and she wants Annemarie to have her back. I'm curious to know, what did Kyle do to comfort Annemarie when her mother passed? Because at no point in this season did I see Kyle show Annemarie any kind of empathy, even though it was said that Annemarie didn't want to discuss her mother's passing or her mother's health on the show. She didn't want producers to air it. Apparently, allegedly she wanted that, cut out or whatever. But still, at some point, even if they weren't talking about her mother directly, I would think that we would see Kyle being empathetic towards her and even jumping in and rescuing her from all of this attacking Sutton and Crystal, and then Crystal and Sutton attacking her back. Like, you would think somewhere in there, Kyle, we would see a soft side of Kyle, and Kyle kind of protecting Annemarie, or even maybe giving a reason saying, oh, she's going through a lot, you guys need to excuse her, blah blah blah, something like that. We would have seen her being giving her sympathy, not necessarily talking about her mom's passing directly, but just in general, and we got zero zilch of it. Probably because Kyle did the bare minimum, probably because they aren't really friends. She is just someone who lives down the street from Kyle, who they would see each other in passing when they were jogging in the morning, okay? And probably chit-chatted when they stopped to get a drink of water at their neighborhood park. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is. So anyway, she was encouraging drama and feeding off of emotional turmoil while she was acting as a soldier in Kyle's army. This energy is one that nourishes the relationships and feelings that are needed for life to flourish. All right? This can be a beautiful thing when the intentions are right. When they play out in a selfish manner, with a housewife aiming to solidify her spot on the show, it comes across as a self-preserving villain. Okay, villain. This energy explains a lot about how Annemarie felt that being harsh, sarcastic, and cruel would be best. All right, because who in their right mind would accept that as this is the best outcome of a situation when you are just barely meeting people. All right. I'm sure there's some situations out there in the universe where that would be great to be best, but I can't imagine it when you are placed in a situation where you do not know these people and you are just meeting the majority of them anyway for the very first time. And you think it would be best to be harsh, sarcastic, and cruel. Some of them screws is loose, and you're not the brightest crayon in the box. Okay? Okay. And you probably color outside the lines anyway. So, one more thing, you guys. Hey, you guys. All right. So, I did want to say this real quick. I want to thank you again. All right, I can't thank you guys enough for giving me this view. Please go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and click like. All right, you made it this far. You like something? Go ahead and click like. All right, help me get in the algorithm. All right, I am a small channel, but I'm mighty. All right. I love coming down here to the YouTube and discussing tarot, and I have so much more to give you guys. And what else? Let me see. I have a lot of ideas for what I'm going to do next. I know I can't do them all at the same time, but if you guys have any ideas or anything that you want me to do tarot on, or anyone in Hot Topics in the news lately that did something silly or stupid, or maybe even really genius, all right, and nobody saw it coming, anything like that, anything that someone in the public eye has made a decision on, and you want to know what made them decide that, go ahead and drop down in the comments below and let me know, and I will most likely I'll go ahead and ask spirit with my tarot cards, why did they do that? Okay, it could be anything, anybody, and we can discuss it down in the comments. Again, thank you very much for your support, and remember to click like and subscribe, and enjoy the weekend. It's coming up. Make it beautiful. And please be what? Safe. Be safe. Be safe, safe, safe. Love you guys. Bye.